with Katie in the background. We're live right here on the Random Kristian Show. Say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Lo-
Hello, boys.
and Lildy Time, our producer extraordinaire, is sitting off in the other room. We're going to get some music going, Lyle, right? So we can start the old podcast. All right. Now, what's my name? Yeah, that's right. You heard my name. You know who it is. It's Brittany. No, it's not Random Brittany. It's Random Kristian. That's right. And the Dead Campers entering us in to a new episode of the Random Kristian Show. Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're at. It's me, Kristian, along with the boys, Brian and Matt. They're hanging out with us. We're rocking out and getting ready to be correctly, politically incorrect, and randomly so. So I have a couple guests in my booth for just a couple more minutes. My daughters. Say hello, daughters.
Hello.
Isabel?
She left.
Oh, well, it's just one of my daughters. She's in and out. So obviously playing, what is it, Minecraft? Roblox. There we go. So,
That's what my son loves to play.
oh my
Go
gosh,
play it.
she's
It's free and it's amazing.
yes, it is. It's amazing. I play it really hardly ever, but it's cool for the kids, so that's what's important. Katie, we're gonna say goodbye to you because we're about to get into heated political discussions of mayhem.
Okay.
So, say goodbye, podcast world and YouTube
Bye.
Live.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
love you,
It was
Lyle.
nice
Help
to
him out.
meet you. Bye,
Oh.
human beings.
There's Isabel. Okay, say goodbye.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Hey, quiet in the other room. Thank you. All right, Lyle, help him out. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Now we're back into the groove of things here, and yeah. So how you doing, boys?
I'm all right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm all right.
Well, we're all kind of there. Everybody survived the old Memorial Day weekend. I'm assuming had a good time.
Oh man, I don't know if it was surviving. I ended up in multiple projects on both Friday, on Saturday, and Monday.
What was going on?
Just being ambitious, trying to get things done around the house.
Oh,
The-
sucker.
Honeydew list. Yes. Yeah, I had some of those too. I did get some things planted out in our yards, and then it just started torrentially raining. So, got the write off on doing that. Plus, my daughters were here for the first time in 2 months since the good old Corona, which, yeah, kind of done with the old Corona thing, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, oh yeah, did you hear everybody who went anywhere or whatever is they're all freaking out. Oh well, now these people have been here and they can't see us and we can't be seeing them and oh my good lord, it's all over the news.
Wait,
Uh,
what?
Well, like people who did, they went camping or whatever. They went and gathered somewhere. And now, everybody's like, "Oh, you weren't socially distancing, so you can't be here." And I mean, it is we've got the Lake of the Ozarks down south of Kansas City here. It's just a big, you know, place
Uh,
where
I
everybody
saw
gathers.
I saw footage of that on the news and was like,
Yeah, yeah, meh,
interesting. If that's what you want to do, I mean, hey, knock yourself out.
dude. And I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, and so now everything's, oh, well, we've spiked, 500 cases. And really, because it takes a good 14 days for this to show up. So how did this spike overnight? You know,
Oh, I agree. It's such an agenda.
dude.
Well, disaster sells. Like anytime anyone's like, oh, the news is like all of a sudden lately has gotten bad. The news has never, ever been anything but sensationalist. You know what I mean.
Yeah, sensationalism. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People forget that they are a business, and their business is to sell advertising time for the highest amount of dollars. So the more eyeballs you get glued to your screen, the higher you can charge for somebody running an ad.
that's
It's
right.
cool business.
Welcome to Marketing 101.
And what's crazy, our local news station is so non-controversial. It seems like, because
Dude, you're in California.
I know, but I think our local one here is especially like crazy, like just absolutely like no real national news. Barely anything bad happens around here. You don't hear about it on our news. It's all sunshine and happiness around here.
Well, then what do
on our
you?
news.
Well, then
I don't watch it. I watch it for the weather.
yeah,
That's all I need it for.
which is sunny and mild every day. So who cares?
No, man, it was almost 90 degrees the other day.
Okay. Oh, God forbid warm weather. Jeez, it's summer in California, in the Central Coast. Hey, so what?
No,
It was
still
it
nice.
was it was foggy in the morning and kind of cool, probably about what 65, 70.
I think it was low 50s on
Oh,
Sunday.
and
I went out and weeded while it was cool.
dude, everybody's weeding out in California, man. It's legal. So.
Because it's cool. I mean, it was
All right. Yeah. So I know I just, man, and again, I mean, we got to put this in perspective. I'm not trying to be hateful or anything like that. And I understand caution, but man, it is being so over the top at this point. I mean, even Dumbo the president, well, I don't know, whatever. I subscribe, and we are gonna get political, baby. We're gonna get all over this. Hey, Brian, did you happen to actually take that test that Matt sent us?
No, I didn't. I've taken it in the past.
Oh,
So
all right. So we're okay. Matt sent us this little test that he did, just to explain to everybody. And what it is you answer a series of questions, random questions, and which we got to look into that because there could be some kind of licensing fee there. And what's going on is you answer all these questions, and then it gives you this graph. I guess you can call it, right. It's a block, and it's cut into 4 sections. So it's a big square made out of 4 squares. And
it's a XY axis graph.
Right. Yeah. If you want to get technical, Matt, thanks. And
no problem.
Yeah. So in layman's term, it's 4 squares making one big square. God, you just totally nerded this out. Now what? So we take the XY plotter, and then we take the thing that goes ahoy, and okay, sorry,
you just brought it back down again, so we're all cool.
I know. Yeah, I totally dumbed it down, didn't I? It's awesome. I just
4 squares make one big square.
Yeah. And then the trapezoid flexors in, and then there's a star pattern. So anyway.
But they don't put in the Z axis.
Oh God.
Because it gets really confusing to look at on a 2-dimensional picture.
Then we enter the 5th dimension and bring in the 4th quadrant of the sector 9.
Anyhow.
Right. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm sorry.
Where were we?
I'm totally lost. No. Okay. 4 big squares that are sectored. One half is the left, and one half is the politically right. I guess is the right. That's how it was.
Yeah.
And then the top half was like
authoritarian.
Yeah, authoritarian. And the bottom half was what were they calling it?
They were calling it libertarian.
Okay. So anyway, we answer these questions. You end up somewhere in one of these squares, Okay, and in the center, I guess, what is that, like the perfect or or just the most
No,
indecisive person in the world?
there's no perfect. I mean, you are your political beliefs are your political beliefs,
Right,
and it just happens to be where you fall in the spectrum of politics. I
right. So,
mean,
but well, I mean, you
you
get what I'm
know,
saying? It's like right in the center is like the most indecisive person in the world, pretty much. I don't know if I'm gonna
yeah.
go this
Well,
way. I don't know if I'm gonna go that way. I may go up. I may go down. I like to be right here where it's comfortable. Yeah.
I think if you're dead center, then
You're pretty much a
you're
worthless human
wishy
being.
washy.
Yeah.
You're wishy washy.
Yeah. There we go.
I
So,
mean, I don't
and
like this, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
right.
I
So,
don't know if I should dislike this or if I should like that. I don't know. But
so
that's my
yeah.
thoughts.
And so I know I fell in, I guess, the libertarian, which so I was talking with somebody about this at work and stuff that I talked some politics with and whatnot. And he said, yeah, so basically you're an anarchist that wants the US Constitution back. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. And he's like, that's basically the best way to just kind of describe a libertarian.
No, 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 no. That's a political party. That's not actually like you'd have to be. If, it's not. You're not a libertarian. It's just you're more. I don't want the state telling me to do so much.
Dude, I
You
don't want the
know.
man telling me to do anything. I don't trust Whitey.
Well, yeah, but you also do appreciate some laws because you know that humans need boundaries.
Well, yeah. Oh my God.
I
Brian,
what?
Brian and his multitasking.
I'm just waiting for a chance to get my words in here.
Oh. I did. It's just it's so and it's like you're dude. It's funny because I know you're chomping at the bit to say something because the typing has gone from and it's gotten
Well, which
more and
is
more
why I
intense.
was really wanted to see Brian's results.
I know. Well, I know, but he's already taken
No,
the
but it,
test.
it definitely puts me over in the libertarian scene as well. I'm very constitutional. You ever get me in a discussion and people talking about anything to do with this, I kind of blow people's minds because, you know, the Constitution only allows for a standing Navy. And so when we talk about, you know, Air Force and Army and those kinds of things, sorry, that's actually supposed to be run by the states and the militias that they were told to have as standing armies. Congress has not actually declared an official war since World War II. Everything else after that has just been, you know, military actions, but nothing officially a war. So
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. I dude. Okay. Yeah. So we're all basically in the same spot.
Pretty much.
yeah,
Because yeah, I hit libertarian, but I hit like the corner closest to so wishy-washy. It's like I mean, like, I was, like, tucked up in there. I was like, "I'm right up in here, but I am a libertarian." Yeah, kinda, yeah, I'm here. And then
But
Matt,
it's
you
also not really wishy washy. I mean, come on. Because the way it's those questions are done is so you know like there's one that like do you believe in an eye for an eye? No, I absolutely don't because someone much smarter than me once said basically you'll end up with a society that's blind and starving. you
well,
know but on the other hand I am a proponent of the death penalty.
well,
You know what I mean? So one brings me to the left and the other pulls me to the right. So, I wouldn't say it's wishy-washy. I mean, I was kind of being facetious about being dead center being wishy-washy, But I mean, there's a lot of ways that your little dot is being pulled around amongst those 4 squares. And where you finally end up is where you end up.
Right.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying but it seems like that if you hit bullseye in that graph or the square of squares, okay, you aren't Paul Lynn, you aren't whoever up in the corner square. This is not Hollywood Squares. This is political squares, and you're right in the center. It seems like you're one of these people that I don't know. And so that's all I was making more of a joke out of it. So thanks for getting all serious and making fun of me and making me feel stupid. God,
That's
you
all right.
guys just
It's all
totally
right.
ruined me. It's awesome. No, but yeah, I mean, you see what I'm saying, right? I was like, if somebody hit that dot perfectly, that's probably where you'd end up. I don't know. Okay, I'll shut up. Whatever.
No, I mean, I also kind of agree with you at the same time. How's that for wishy-washy?
Oh, yeah, you're kind of really all over the place. So now I don't feel so bad.
Eh.
Meh. Yeah.
This is a public service announcement with guitar.
Yeah, that's right. Know your rights.
All 3 of them.
Yes. Oh God, you gotta love the Clash. All right,
Oh,
so anyway, so now that we're you have the right not to be killed. That is a good right. I do profess that. So now that we're all we've stated where we fall on this silly little test that apparently means nothing if you're in the middle. So, and I mean, like I said, I know we will probably get a little heated. Well, maybe we won't because we're all kind of on the same page apparently. But uh, what how are we feeling about our current state of affairs with our current government?
I mean, it's all over the place. I mean, you've got factions, on state levels that are like, okay, we got to have this super mega controlled, closed down, all this kind of stuff. Like New York says you can go to the beach, but you can't swim. And you got California who says you can go swim and surf, but you can't go to the beach. And both of them claim that science is guiding them.
Right.
I mean, if that doesn't give you sort of the summation of how incredibly insane this all is, I don't know what does. I mean, just 2 exact polar opposites on 2 opposite coasts with completely opposite rules, on this whole, go to the beach, not go to the beach, swim, not swim.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But we don't have the population density that like New York has.
No. And that's why I said I get the whole cautious thing in those kind of places, because you're stacked on top of each other. Something all you got to do is fart wrong. Somebody downstairs is going to smell it. You're right there, for God's sake. So yes, wear your mask there.
Yeah.
Be cautious, be careful, take care of each other. But you get into other areas like Kansas City. I'm in. Matt, you're in San Luis Obispo, a very spread out kind of town, even though it's a smaller town.
But
And Brian, the same thing with you. You're in the Springs, and not as an intense of a group of people. Now, even Denver, for God's sakes, I mean, it has a downtown population. There's a lot of people in it, but it's nothing like Los Angeles or New York or San Francisco for that matter.
Like, for example, but if you've been to the beach in, San Diego, let's say Orange County, those beaches can get just as packed as anything in New York can.
Oh,
the
yeah.
water can get, pretty well, trafficked as well. And I just find it odd that, on the swimming versus staying on the beach side, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't, because the more people that are in the water doesn't change the more people at the beach. I think it's just one of those items that to me, it just seems so odd, and you've got, so much going on, like, hey, if the mask works, then let's just get back to work. If it doesn't work, why require people to use them? I mean, I know it's kind of like, infantile logic, but to some degree, there is a validity to, having that kind of a conversation. Because, if my mask is going to be fine, then let's let everybody get back to work. Just mandate that, hey, you have to wear a mask, period. If you're going to open, you have to wear a mask, period.
But see, and then that also opens up the controversy because people are also saying, and it's basically a fact, you wear a mask, you're also holding in all that crap on you. So, I mean, it's such a catch-22 setup. I mean, if you're if you've got it, you're constantly breathing it in, it's just going to make you worse. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not
Right.
filtering out the air that you breathe in and then all those germs are staying right there and you're breathing them all back in. So all you're doing really is concentrating everything. And
But the
ah,
masks aren't for you.
okay.
They're
The-
I wear a mask to protect the person I'm talking to, and hopefully they're wearing a mask to protect me.
okay. But mm, okay. And again, we're going into a catch-22 because okay, you're protecting them, but then if you're wearing a mask, you're still if either one of you has this, you're forcing this back into you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
So again, mask or no mask, but I mean, it's almost a moot point. I mean, because and plus, unless you have an actual sealed oxygen air system, you're still breathing in the outside air one way or another. And it's not going to filter everything out. I mean, just from being a painter, okay, when I'm sanding drywall, I used to wear a very similar mask. I even used to wear a respirator when I was spray painting, okay? And I'll tell you this much, I come out, there's white stuff come or the color of the paint or the dust that I've been sanding is right up around my nose because it's still getting in somehow.
oh
And
yeah.
it's so if that's still getting in, germs are still getting in, man. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not a perfect system. Is it going to work? Kind of, but kind of isn't stopping anything. So, what's the point?
But wouldn't kind of be better than nothing?
I'm not sure. I honestly I mean I see the validity in what you're saying, but you also got to remember, I mean, and you have billions of particles of fresh air mixed in with those kind of germy airs. If you, as long as you cover your cough, you know, which I know not all the time can happen, but a cough travels at 9 miles an hour. A sneeze is what, 12 to 15 miles per hour or more.
Never clocked one.
Well, I'm just going off of I mean, I've watched.
I'm so glad you can't see me right now.
Which that may all
I'm
change.
sorry. Just
But
laughing so much. But yeah, no, I mean,
you're like totally
uh,
rolling your eyes at me, aren't you?
no, I'm just laughing because
Oh, I can hear
you're
you, young
damned if
man.
you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yes.
I
Yes.
honestly,
Oh my
like
God.
I told my wife months ago, you're either gonna get it or you're not, and the only thing you can do is
Yeah.
take whatever precautions you think are necessary. If you think you need this and that, then do it. Like, you know what? This is America. Who cares what you do? These people that are judging people for wearing masks or not wearing masks, you know what? You're in America. They can do whatever they want. You know?
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
granted, you can say, "Hey, man, don't cough on me and don't lick people," but
Mm,
you know,
mm.
you shouldn't be coughing and licking people no matter what,
But
unless you have their permission.
if people are made of chocolate or gummy bears,
Oh, they're getting chomped on.
that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, all right. And I just love chocolate, so I'm I'm kind of hungry. And again, took it to a totally different weird place. It's what I do. So, all right. So now, okay. So yeah, I mean, and I saw somebody post something, and I don't know, Brian, if you saw this or not. Because I think you're friends with them on the old Facebook or Instagram, and he posted this saying. It said, "Never has a country been so divided over a disease that has a 99% uh, oh god
Recovery rate.
recovery rate." Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh my god, that's awesome," because it's so true. And I mean, but again, this all goes back to what and this was before I actually brought you guys in on some of the podcasts here. I was talking about how there are higher powers that are controlling our governments, and I say governments as in plural, as in worldwide governments. And yeah, I know. Now we're gonna go, oh, Chris is conspiracy fact. Wait, okay, just hear me out for a sec. They love the division and causing people to divide, just like the enemy does, which goes to my religious beliefs of Satan. Um, and they love to conquer and divide, so they keep forcing this. So, I mean, you have people that, even if they're some of the most informed people in the world, are still arguing with these other people. Don't argue. You just find a way to support each other. But no, instead, we're going to sit here and they keep pushing the button through the media, through social media, through everything else. They keep pushing and pushing. So everybody keeps dividing, and getting angrier and angrier at everybody else instead of where the real anger should be focused at, which is our government. I'm sorry. I mean, I love our country. I'm there's no way I'm denying any of that, and I am all for our Constitution, but the original Constitution, not the Constitution that has been so amended and so torn apart by lawyers and greedy corporations and the lobbyists that are trying to get this to get that, and you if
Well,
they
it's not the
give you the
amendments.
laws. What? No, 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 hold on.
No,
They push these laws that, okay, well, and again, you have to start settling for lesser evils, just like our presidential choices. You don't get five different people to choose from. No, you get one or the other. And then people go, well, I got to go with the lesser of the two evils. Why? Why do you have to do that? Why do we have to settle for the lesser of the evils? No, say hell no. I'm not settling for any of this. Take it back, fix it. If you can't, we're putting somebody in here who can. Screw yourselves. Okay, I'm better.
well, I just want to touch on the amendment thing.
Okay.
There's a,
Here's an amendment to the
I
amendment.
think the amendments are a fantastic addition to the Constitution because they are something that a majority of states have all agreed to and said, yeah, that's a cool thing that we could add to federal law. What you're really mad at is Congress passing all kinds of crazy laws that are just crazy. A lot of our amendments, crazy laws are crazy. Yes, I said that. But I mean, it just too many laws. And
With amendments. There's amendments are just sub clauses to the laws, Matt.
no, the amendments on the Constitution
Okay.
are much different than that's a different thing.
Yeah, I would agree that that many of the amendments to the Constitution are warranted. I'm not sure that I agree that the two of them that I have kind of an issue with. One of them is the one that allowed the federal government to tax our income tax
Yeah.
on a federal level. I think that our lives, well, the world was much better before that was a legality, because at this point, the IRS is actually a gun-toting agency, meaning that if you don't pay money, they actually have agents who are have deadly weapons, deadly force to enforce, which I find very strange and crazy.
That's
And
disturbing.
then, and the other one that I really, really don't like is one that most people don't even really know about. And that's the one where senators were actually changed from being elected and managed by their states to a to a popular vote of their state, meaning that if you had a senator that wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing, the state actually could hold an election and just remove them. And
Oh.
that was changed. And I really believe that they've slowly but surely eroded states' rights to a point where everything has become kind of homogenized, and states don't really have as much say in things. And right now, as much as I don't like what California and New York are doing on this COVID thing, I do, on a more libertarian level, do agree that that's a states' rights issue. They have a different scenario. I guarantee you that Wyoming's issue with COVID-19 is way different than downtown New York. We all know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Doesn't take much intellect to understand that. So
no, that's a pure logistics. That's just, yeah. We have a town of 500 people compared to a city of 2 million people. Yeah. It's and the square footage per person is insanely different. Literally insanely different, because you're literally stacking square footage on top of each other into 1 square foot. It's beyond comparison. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I do believe that, yeah, each state should be able to judge and warrant their own decisions on how they want to do things. How well they do that and how well they've been doing that, I totally disagree. I think they're all doing it wrong. And I think they're all overreacting because they're going politically. I think they're going very politically charged to be backed by, because it's an election year. And they want to, they either want to be the hero, and they want to seem like the hero because they figure, hey, I'm going to err on the side of total caution because this is going to make me look fantastic in the long run. But the problem is, it's being proven over and over again, and every time it's getting proven, it's getting shut down and shut off and kicked out and written off as a conspiracy theory, or it's being written off as total just somebody made this up or whatever. And everybody's drinking the damn Kool-Aid. And what needs to happen is, God, what was there was a movie where they totally exposed the government that was controlling the country. Like, blew it out of the water, and like they finally just, like, all of a sudden everybody was like, oh. And then at the end they did something where they just wiped everybody out. I may have been tripping out, and it was quite some time ago, so this could all just be in my head. But God, now maybe I need to write a movie. But then they wiped everybody out at the end. And what are you doing, taking out the trash?
No.
Oh.
Absolutely not.
I don't do that. I have kids for that.
It's just okay. Sorry.
I went to my office kitchen and grabbed myself a soda because I am parched.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, dude, I'm drinking. Well, if you can't tell, having a little coffee. Ah!
Maybe a little too much.
Oh God, no. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I like coffee.
Just a hair.
With like 4 lumps of sugar.
You better give me a whole lot of them.
Yes, Pete Puma.
Pete Puma. Have you ever seen the movie Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell?
Yes.
And he goes crazy on coffee.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
that's what I was just gonna.
Gonna reference. And then I went into
Yeah.
pee puma, and coffee gives me a headache. So,
Well, what should we have?
Yeah.
Coffee.
Coffee. Or no, yeah, tea gives me a headache. Sorry. All right. That is why it's
I'm
called
telling
the
you,
Random Kristian
that
Show.
yeah, that app that we talked about that we shouldn't record here needs to happen.
Well, I'm working on it. I'm trying to get us on a better platform that will all work together and yeah, I know. My bad. Okay. So yeah. So now that we've you know, been politically incorrect. I mean, okay, so I think we're up I mean, wow. We're so controversial. It's uh yeah.
Well, when you get three people that pretty much agree with each other, I mean, I
Yeah.
think we can
I was
quibble
hoping for
over
a
some
little difference, but
details.
we'll
But
have to get somebody else in on one of these calls one day, and
I
then
mean,
then we can all attack
I
them.
I still think that amendments aren't nearly as bad as all the laws that Congress ends up passing without much. At least I believe that, like,
Yeah, they don't know
I
what's
feel
in them.
more. I feel more. Yeah, I feel more represented in a constitutional amendment than I do in. I don't know what law they passed today in
I know, right?
Congress. They could I and I have no way of knowing if my congressman. I mean, there is a way. I know I can look it up, but there's every day your newspaper should say this is what your local representative did.
Yeah.
And you can go, oh, either I agree with that or I don't agree with that, and either I'm going to vote for this guy again or I'm going to not vote for him, and I may actively campaign against him.
But
You know what I mean?
this and it's
Well,
the problem.
But there's no accountability really, because I don't think we are as represented as we really once were. And God, they passed laws.
Dude, they pass
California
laws like
passes
toilet
laws that
paper.
I don't even hear about. Like, oh, they're looking at such and such law or this law, unless it's super controversial. And California passes laws left and right, where all of a sudden you're like, when did that become a law? Like, that's stupid. It's the dumbest law I've ever heard of, and we have so many of them.
But and you know when that law was passed? When some other mayhem was going on somewhere else that you were paying attention to, and then hey, by the way, we got this done.
Or one of our fabulously, horribly written, citizen propositions. Which, I mean, I love the proposition idea, but my lord, I vote for none of them.
Yeah, because there's so many things snuck in behind them. You have to agree to, if you want to get this done, well, we'll do this for you, but then you've got to let us do this and this and this and this and this and this.
No, if you ever read some of the propositions that California's passed,
Prop 13.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
And people don't read them all the way. And like you said, if there's stuff in there that if you read it, you'd be like, no.
Right.
I agree with like 90% of this, but that 10% is wrong. And so why can't we just have, like when we passed the marijuana, legalizing marijuana, horribly written.
Well, but it was like that in every state, Matt. I mean, it wasn't just California. It was like that in every state because the big pharma didn't want that to happen, man, because it does help people. And I'm not a huge proponent of it. I do use some CBD oil now for my back, and it took me, you know what? I tried 5 different CBD oils because everybody keeps saying, "Oh yeah, this works, this works, this works." And so many of them I found were like so impure and so wiped out as to their actual potency that
Yeah.
I finally found a small company that actually makes, and it's not cheap, mind you. And thank God my mom was like, "You got to try this," and I'm like, "Well, I can't afford it." She's like, "I'm sending you a bottle because my mom has a broken anyway. She's got some
Eh,
severe health issues, and she for the first time is off Norco. She's pain free. She's actually up, moving around, actually getting physically stronger because she's not having to use these meds that were costing her, you know, quite a bit of money. I'm not even sure because she wouldn't tell me. And my mom's an accountant. When she doesn't tell you the numbers, it's bad. So I'm just saying, I mean, that's a typical accountant thing. Well, that's the numbers aren't important right now. Oh my God, I'm broke. What the hell happened? No, no, it's not all that bad. We've got some tax loopholes and we're gonna make no. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, you're kind of broke. But anyway,
but
so
just on paper, my friend.
right, yeah. But in, your Swiss bank account, I don't have a Swiss bank account. Well, yeah, you actually do. But anyway, okay. And my offshore.
That's right. You don't have that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we cashed that out.
So,
No. Okay.
so there's another aspect to all these laws and amendments that I think is another one that we don't think about enough. That is just maddening if you do start thinking about it. Is laws that are not actually legally passed that you are now subject to, and those are agencies who create um, rules that you now have to live by, but they're not passed through a legislative process. So, for example,
Oh,
the Department of the Interior says you can't take, like you could in some wilderness areas you can actually take electric bicycles out there as long as they're under a certain,
Oh,
whatever you
wattage.
call it.
Yeah, wattage and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wattage, all those kinds of things. And it's just one of these things that it's like, so somebody can take an electric bike that can go 40 miles an hour into the backcountry, no problem. But I can't ride a pedal only bicycle in those same areas. And it's those kinds of things. I mean, there's a lot
Right.
of other ones. I'm using a kind of a benign one so that it's not massively controversial. But I mean, it's those kinds of things that get passed that affect our daily lives without us having the ability to actually scrutinize those things both before they're passed and even after.
Well, yeah, and okay, and so uh, it's just like that. What we were talking about a few episodes back, where you saw where they can't go hiking, but you can ride a bike on a trail, a hiking trail.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
yeah.
okay because of the coronavirus, and I mean, how does that make any sense? The coronavirus can't catch up to you on a bike, but if you're hiking, you're pretty much a dead man. I don't know. I don't know when the coronavirus became a cheetah, or like you said, or what was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was it. That
yeah,
was the joke I made. That
yeah.
it's a cheetah. It only chases fast moving things, but if it's slow, it's like it doesn't show up in the vision or whatever.
If you see the coronavirus coming, lay down, play dead. It'll pass over. It's like the spirit of death in back in biblical times where they oh just put a cross on the door and he's going to pass over you now. God, I hope I'm not that's not blasphemous there, but okay. So sorry, God. Okay. Um, moving forward. Um, I know, and my pastor's probably listening, going, Chris, we're gonna have a talk. So, yeah. But yeah, all these and they aren't even really laws. I mean, there's no way. The only way they really enforce them is because it's their own little pet peeve, right? I mean,
Right.
It's just their policy.
yeah,
Like
Right,
policy.
but again, I mean, the IRS policy and the IRS, those kinds of things, those policies can be enforced with deadly force. I mean, the fishing and game guys, like if you're out there, don't have a license to fish, those guys can approach you with a gun
yeah,
because you're fishing for a trout at the top of some mountain pass, and they could come up to you with deadly force to enforce the fact that you didn't buy a $23 fishing license.
yeah, yeah.
That kind of scares me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, and yeah, and cause physical harm. and
Yeah.
just yeah. Oh God bless. Yeah, it's horrible. It truly is. It's the it's part of the little loopholes, and it's like
Well, and it's a lot of people. Well, I don't go fish, so what's the problem? Like, what do you have a problem with just getting a license?
It's not that you don't, that there are
You know?
certain waterways that it's not required. And that's what I'm saying is that a state
Oh
waterway,
no.
you know, may not require it, but another one might, and you may think you're at one that doesn't require it. Again, I'm using narrow examples, but there's other, like I said, there's other bigger ones. I'm trying to remember some of them, but it's just,
No, no,
um,
I'm not disagreeing with you, Brian. I'm saying what it is you have groups of people where that policy doesn't affect them, so they're wondering like, well, why are you whining
uh,
about it? Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't. America's a full of a lot of people that, well, if it doesn't affect me, then it doesn't bother me.
exactly.
Unfortunately, and it ultimately does affect you, and it should bother you.
well,
Because if
yes,
they can do it to the fishermen, then they're going to do it to a driver. I mean,
Right.
eventually. Like,
yeah,
I think that, like, I'm torn on like the DUI checkpoints. Like, I don't
I
want people
know.
out there driving drunk. However, funneling everybody into these points, I, that's
and then
that bothers me a
arresting
lot.
people for either not having their license on them or some kind of yeah, no, absolutely, it's a
Oh
total
yeah,
invasion of
yeah.
rights,
Because
and
like, oh, we caught 5 people that with warrants and stuff and blah 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 blah. That's not what the DUI checkpoint was for. If you're just checking to make sure I'm not drinking and driving,
right,
that's fine. Because even that's not fine, but it's fine. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But but they're using it as a way to get you other ways.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, they're definitely fishing
And,
for whatever other infractions.
well, and
right.
You know.
it's their way of creating revenue too,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
and have you noticed like they love to do those checkpoints during the towards the end of the year because we just ain't meeting our goals here, so let's see who else we can grab while we're here,
Oh no, it's just because it's the holidays, and that's when
Nah.
people really drink.
I'll tell you this much: you can tell when it's toward the end of the month because all the highway patrol come out in force and create speed traps and all that kind of stuff. But half the other time, they're not doing much.
Nope. Nope, not oh, yeah, you go whizzing past them doing 80, and they're like, "Nah, whatever."
I
Yeah.
have seen more highway patrol out in the last month or so than I have any other time. Any other like I drove down to Santa Maria a few times this last week. It's a short little drive, but like we went back and forth a few times on Saturday, and heading south there, and then coming back north, we saw like more than 4, and it's only like a 30-minute drive, down south.
Right.
We saw like 4 individual highway patrol cars. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because they line up
like
and they
because
they
there was
clock one guy, and one guy's just sitting there clocking everybody, and he goes, "Okay, go get that guy," and then somebody else would be like, "Go get that guy. Yeah, go get that guy." They were all together or whatever. I mean, that's how they do it.
exactly.
And
But
the
6 months ago, like, because I have friends that live down there, and you drive up and down, like oh, like heading here, go back up to the 5 cities, like do this, do that. You're lucky to see one highway patrol.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's like it's always where's the highway patrol when this guy is that's doing 100 miles an hour is weaving in and out of traffic? There's never one around.
Right.
But all of a sudden we have the coronavirus, and now I've got 4 cops out here on overtime.
Right. And it's because they ain't making any money.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why they're out there, because they're like, you know what? We're way down on bringing money in from people that are doing 5 miles over the speed limit or 25, whichever may happen.
Well, and RCHP also said that, like, so because there was less traffic, highway speeds have gone up, but accidents have gone down.
Yeah. Good one, Lyle. Yeah, absolutely. It's mayhem. Is literally what it is. Lyle decided to put on some Earth Crisis by the Steel Pulse there. Gotta love it. So all right, so yeah, dude, it's just I don't know. I mean, you know, I hate talking about it like this because I hate to be sounding so negative, but it's just the damn truth, man. And why other people don't see it, oh well, we got to do this. No, we don't have to. And oh, that's the way it's been done for years. Well, you know what? It's been done wrong for years.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously. I mean, and I know you're in a more kind of a liberal state out in there in Colorado and California, obviously. But dude, out here in the Midwest, I mean, you get people that are really, they just whatever the government tells me, like, dude, are you just seriously not thinking about this? I mean, they could be like, okay, well, we need you to take that gun, shoot yourself in the foot 5 times. Well, okay, if that's the law, then I'm going to do it. It's like, dude, seriously, man, come on. And I mean, they're few and far between, but they're still out there. And it's just like, oh my God, bro. Seriously.
I hate to say it, but I've been thinking about this quite a bit. In 1984, basically, as long as people have their drugs, their beer, and their porn, they're happy. And in America, as long as they have their guns, their beer, and their porn, they're happy.
Yeah. Well.
And it's, and I don't have a problem with any of those things. But you know what? But you know what I mean? Like, if you read 1984, it's...
Nah. Yeah, go. Keep going.
No, that's as intellectual as I'm going to get on the subject matter. It's just. I mean, really, like, you keep the people placated, and you can get away with almost anything.
There, here, keyword, placated.
Out here, I think they thought, legalizing marijuana, like, they didn't fight it. It was a proposition. It passed. It's, medical and personal, and blah blah blah, and I think that they thought, like, oh, okay, we don't fight that, but we can take away more from people as long as they're placated.
Okay, all right. So now, all right, and like I said, that was like such an excellent word, I think.
Well, and here's the other thing, because
sedated
liberal,
is not the right word. Placated
how
is.
How far liberal do you go before it's totalitarianism? Because that your four square is actually a globe. Because eventually it's all going to wrap around. It's like the Earth isn't flat, the vertical scale is not flat. There is no up or down. It's like, where do you fall on a globe?
Okay,
and it all comes back, man.
And since you brought it up, and Brian, I'm pretty sure I can feel you chomping at the bit to say something about this, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts on that one.
Okay, what about the flat Earth or placated?
Placated. I do not believe the flat Earth thing. So
no,
but definitely. I mean, there's definitely a concerted effort to keep the people from rising up against the constant encroachment of essentially massive control over people. And there's so many different ways that they do it. And like you said, reading 1984, reading Karl Marx, all those kinds of things, they're at this point, they're using them as playbooks as opposed to cautionary tales.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Animal Farm. I mean, come on.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's like they went, oh, we can take these warnings and use them because they basically spelled it out for us. And
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, left, right. You're being used.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, dude, is the what's driving me crazy is, oh, you're just acting like a Democrat, or you're acting like a Republican, or you're you know what? And I posted on Facebook earlier, and I think Brian, you saw it. I don't know if Matt, you did yet or not. But
I try not to look at Facebook too much.
well, you got to look at our page because we have our own page now, by the way.
Shoot.
And we have our own Instagram.
Crazy.
Yeah. But I was I belong to a Monty Python group page or whatever, and it is the watery or what? Oh God bless! Now I can't.
Watery tarts.
Watery tarts that hand out swords in lakes. Women in lakes handing out swords 2020, and that is going to be my platform, and I'm going to run for president on it. So there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but I mean that it's
people think that somehow capitalism is a political ideal, and it's not.
but no.
Like there's nothing wrong with capitalism, but like anything, it needs its checks and balances.
I was gonna say that I was waiting for you to finish before I jumped in. So
yeah,
no, it definitely yes, there has to be checks and balances. Which I mean, capitalism is great to a certain extent, but then we also have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves through it, and I don't know, it's a real slippery slope, man. And that's gonna have to be a whole nother show because we're already hitting peak times right now. By the way. Speaking of peak times, Jamaica, Germany, and Ireland all listening in now.
Woohoo.
So, yeah, I'm just saying, we're number one in Germany, and we're number one in Jamaica, and we're starting to slip a little bit in Ireland. So, come on, Irish, pick it up. And but welcome, Jamaica and Germany. Thank you so much. And Ireland, let's pick up the pace. All right. So, and America, whatever you're there. It's not that we hate you. It's not that we hate you. We just we want to riot. That's what we got going on right now with the little dead Kennedys. So
I think that bleed for me.
Oh yeah, dude,
Talking
bleed
about
for me.
capitalism and whatnot.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that our government really is protecting its citizens in many ways.
Well, I can see where he was going with the riot. So yeah, yeah, that would. Well, yeah, that's all right, dude. That's fine. Just leave it. It's fine. So yeah, where was I going now? Oh God bless. Okay. Oh, the flat Earth people. Oh my gosh. So I actually ended up in a very interesting debate with someone over the whole flat Earth thing. Okay, and I'm around. It's an orb. It's a globe. Yeah. Okay, dude. I mean, it's but dude, they were making some very valid points. And I mean, because like
what? What's a
dude?
valid point?
Okay, think about this. The picture. Okay, first off, your pictures from space. Do you actually believe that we've walked on the moon?
Yes.
Okay, you actually believe that. So, okay. Either way, you're taking a picture of the Earth from the moon. We only see the moon from one side. We've proven that. Okay, we can only see the moon from one side because it rotates with us. Okay, now. When you take a picture,
but the moon rotates, and we see the dark side from time to time. Obviously, from sliver to full moon, it's at least the dark side does show at some point.
Okay, now in theory, mind you, okay, this is this guy's. I swear to God, dude, I was like sitting there listening. I'm like, okay, I can see. I mean, I didn't believe it.
No, Brian, that's not how the moon works.
The moon needs batteries to glow.
It does rotate, but it rotates in a way that we only do see one side.
Right. It rotates on an anti-axis or anyway. Okay, so we see one side. But he's like, okay, so if they take a picture of the Earth from space or the moon or whatever, which they have, you know, uh, it's basically a big flat circle.
with different
It,
continents showing at different times.
eh,
Have you not seen video footage of them of the entire
okay,
Earth as
yes, and uh, oh God, I got to see if I can
as
get a
they
hold of
go
the guy.
around? That's stupid. That's just stupid.
I
It does. Do you see? It's not like a
I
map. You don't see the entire world, like from like Asia, Pacific Ocean, U.S., Atlantic, and then Europe, and then Asia again.
I,
That's not the picture you get from outer space.
dude, I'm just saying it's the way he was explaining it. I was just like, okay, I get your point, and it was kind of scary because some of the things he was saying was making kind of sense the way he was explaining them, but it was the way he was explaining them. And then I like sat there and think about it, I'm like, you're still full of crap. But I mean,
because it didn't make full on sense.
but
it makes sense until you start thinking about it. That's
oh my
God! Started on the flat Earth people.
dude, I was laughing. I mean, it was great, but it was great to hear them talk about it. And I got to see if I can get a hold of it. It was through another place I used to work. I got to see if I can get a hold of him because I would love to have him on here just to explain it. And I mean, dude, he still to this day believes the Earth is flat, and I'm like, it is. There's just no. It's not logic. There's just you don't. And no matter what you say, he has a theory and a. It's crazy, dude. I mean, even about gravity and everything. It's just like, how do you even figure this is? And then I just basically like I sent him an email with the cat that's knocking things off the Earth. I'm like, there you go. There's your flat Earth. That's why people die because they get knocked off the Earth. So
Someone
anyway.
smoked way too much and looked at that Kansas album.
Well,
Way
pretty,
too
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
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 Oh God, yeah, I know, dude.
I'm sorry, but anytime, like, I've only met a couple people that are like way into the flat Earth thing.
Yeah,
It's just like, what other dumb things do you believe then? Because if you can believe that, then someone's got you in the palm of their hand and they can feed you any line they want.
dude. I mean, I'm just telling you, it was amazing to hear. I mean, because at first I'm like, dude, I don't even want to hear what you want to say. But then the way you start talking, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see where you're going with some of this, but it's still a bunch of crap. But it was interesting to hear, and
Well, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it, Brian.
Oh, I was just going to say that I did see one that was it was actually probably today or yesterday that was kind of funny. It was a meme, but they were saying that when President Nixon or whoever it was talking to alleged astronauts that were on the moon, it was almost instantaneous conversation. Except for right now, when you talk to somebody, there's like a 8 or 9 second delay. How was that technology better back then than now? I mean, just little things like that. Well, I didn't verify it or fact check that there really was no delay back in the day or whatever. So.
right. But it is interesting when you hear those but then again, I think it's also because they probably put them on a delay, so everybody, it was doctored, no matter what,
No, and
because they have to in case something goes wrong. They don't want the public to hear that right away. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Yeah.
actually live. And
yeah,
I just know that from being in radio and whatnot because we used to have and they still do. They have what's called a dump button, and it's a big red button. And if somebody curses or something on the air, you hit that button. You've got a 2 or 3 second delay. I mean, it depends. You can set it for whatever, and you've got time to recover and go. Oh, okay. You can't say that on the air,
Well, and I don't know if this is like something they may. If it's all fake, then they did this on purpose to kind of throw you off. When Neil Armstrong blew his line, because it's not a one small step for man, a giant leap for mankind.
Mankind or whatever, right?
It's a one small step for a man, is what he meant to say. And if it was fake, they would have fixed that.
Yeah.
He blew the line, and it's still a great line. I mean, whatever.
Dude, I'm not debating that he didn't
meant,
say it live.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No,
But,
and
but I'm just saying, if it was all fake, they would have fixed that. It would have been perfect.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, and
So-
yeah, but or they could have left it in to make it sound like it was real. I'm just saying.
There's your conspiracy theory.
There it is, right there, coming full circle, getting crazy. And actually, I believe the Irish were the first people on the moon. So there we go. Because we're number one in Ireland, baby. No. All right.
That's awesome.
Neil McArmstrong.
Neil McArmstrong. There we go. See, it all works together. And
I
then
know my U.S. history really good.
okay. So.
And then I have one last thing to say about the flat Earth.
Oh, okay.
Thing.
Bring it on.
Is I have to look into to see if the MythBusters ever took that theory on.
Ooh, yeah, that was a great show.
Because I'm watching actually the last season right now on Hulu. But
what happened to the Star Wars thing?
You don't even. Oh man, we are so deep into Star Wars.
Apparently not that deep because you're watching.
The other MythBusters is just on the TV while I'm putzing around the house doing dishes and housework and stuff. Yeah. But Star Wars, oh my. Do you really want to know?
No.
Okay.
No, because I don't have time to watch TV and it sucks. And I feel so left out and far behind. And lonely now because it just totally went dead silent. We just lost Ireland. Great. Jamaica's out.
Well, I apologize about my
it's probably dinner time.
Yeah, oh yeah, probably is. Yep. Well, there we go. Yeah, so my bad. Speaking of dinner time, I'm sure everybody's getting ready to eat, aren't they? Yeah. What do I know? So anyway, have we so are we like wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to get somebody on that's gonna be controversial with us because we're all too far in agreement with everything. It's just kind of sad. I mean, I was hoping. I mean, we brought up some valid points, and apparently the flat Earth does not ride well with Matt at all.
No.
So, but yeah, round Earth to a certain extent. I'm kind of going for a trapezoid. I believe there's just multi angles, and that's how it all works.
So it's sort of like the Pink Floyd album cover, right? And then there's like a rainbow that shoots out the other side from the sun hitting it.
Duh.
That's
you guys.
Aurora Borealis, man.
It's exactly. See?
Hey, you want to hear something weird? Just in a good, kind of odd closing thing. When I first moved to Colorado, I was chit-chatting with a girl that I liked that was still back in the Bay Area, and I'm sitting like laying on the ground looking out my window, and I'm looking at the sky going, what in the world is that? And I'm literally in Colorado looking at the Aurora Borealis that, I guess once every 40 years or some weird thing like that, it can come down this far.
Oh,
and
wow.
So I got to watch it. Yeah, it was so cool. I'd never thought I'd ever be able to see it, since, Alaska, you can't just drive up there as easily as you used to be able to.
Yeah.
So.
You can't tell Canada, hey, just passing through.
Well, no, but you can go to
my next state over there. I gotta go look at stuff.
If you go the very northern point of Michigan or Wisconsin, you can see it.
Cool.
Just saying, I tried when I was in Michigan for a company meeting, and we all got drunk and drove up there and didn't see crap except for a lot of stars, and it was very pretty. But then it just got really awkward because there was like, four drunk guys sitting in a car looking at the sky out in the field all by ourselves, and things just got really weird. So we decided to go back, and so there we go. Yeah, that's my life. Weird, awkward situations in fields with drunk men. That just does not sound right at all. So, on that note, we've now lost Germany, or maybe gained more listeners in Germany. I don't know.
I'd like to say I've never been alone with Chris in a field drunk.
I'm the same thing. I can say the same. I agree. Need to put that into context just in case people are wondering.
In my defense, Matt, me and you have been in a car out in the hills of California by ourselves in the dark. Brian, I used to go to dances with you.
The Aurora Borealis.
No, that's true. And not drunk. So there we go.
And not drunk.
But yeah, all right. So on that note, I think the dead campers are trying to exit us out here, and just make it a little extra fun. So, all right, guys. Well, that was our politically incorrect, correct, mandatory randomness kind of thing, and glad everybody tuned in. Like I said, we do have our Facebook and Instagram pages now going. So if you want, check us out on there. We're on YouTube. We're on all these extra little. That was a nice edit, Lyle. Nice job. We're on Anchor.fm. We want to say thank you to them. We want to say thank you to YouTube. We want to say thank you to Fiverr, who still can't seem to get us sponsored for some reason, and makes it really weird. But anyway, I want to thank Brian and Matt for jumping in here again. We appreciate you. And until next time, boys, I hope you have a wonderful day.